Hello class, so I'm back for the major components of the theory of buyer behavior. This is continuation of our lesson 3. So if you remember from the last video, we were talking about the cognitive models of consumer behavior, and under which there is analytic and prescriptive. For this lesson, we will focus on the analytic cognitive model. So we have the exogenous variables, and under which we have the inputs, the hypothetical construct or intervening variables, and we have the output. Okay. So what are the input? Input variables are the environmental stimuli that the consumer is subjected to and is communicated from a variety of sources. So there's a significative stimuli, which are actual elements of products and brands that the buyer confronts. We have the symbolic stimuli, which refers to the representation of products and brands as constructed by marketers through advertising and an act on the consumer indirectly. And we also have the social stimuli, which include the influence of family and other peer and reference group. Okay, so we go to the significative stimuli. Ito yung mga part ng product, or ito yung mga rason kung bakit natin binibili yung product because of the product itself. For example, why are people buying Acer? Okay. People are buying Acer because it's known to have a very long life, because it's known to be durable and user-friendly. So those are the qualities of Acer, the qualities that a laptop have, an Acer brand have, kung bakit binibili siya at tinatangkilik siya ng mga bumibili. Now, we go to the symbolic. This symbolic stimuli refers to the representation of product and brand constructed by marketers. So, when we say symbolic, what comes into my mind is yung Apple brand. Diba? So, yung Apple brand, pag nakita mo pa lang yung symbol ng Apple, naiisip mo na agad na, okay, matibay siya, okay, maganda yung product na to because of its symbol. Okay? And of course, they have very, very rigid advertising na nagsasabi na Apple is the in thing. We also have the social stimuli, which I could also attribute to Apple, sa Apple products. Kasi pag naka-Apple ka, ibig sabihin social ka, in ka. Okay? So, these are just my observation. This does not really hold true siguro, but as an entrepreneur teacher, as a marketing subject specialist, these are my observations. So, you can see that there are products which are being bought because of these types of stimuli. Okay? So, you could also think of yourselves kung ano pa itong mga to. Okay. So, the influence of such stimuli is internalized by the consumer before they affect the decision process. So, sabi dito, itong mga different kinds of stimuli na to, like the significative, symbolic, and social stimuli, pumapasok sa atin ito. Okay? So, tapos, pag pumasok ito sa atin, pag na-perceive ng mga senses natin, yun yung nagiging basis natin ng decision making kung ano yung mga tatangkilikin natin na brands or products. Okay? So, in figure 1.4, that is the chart for the theory of buyer behavior. You may not be able to see it in my screen, but I have already sent a PowerPoint presentation of this. So, kung hindi nyo makita, you can open the PowerPoint that I've sent you while listening to my discussion. Okay? So, at the top part, which is the exogenous variable, we have the importance of purchase, personality variables, the social class, the culture, the organization, the time pressure, and the financial status. Under the inputs, we have quality, price, distinctive, availability, service. That's a significant stimuli. Under the symbolic, we have the quality, price, distinctive, availability, service, and the last one is the social environment. We were talking about inputs a while ago. So, the inputs is actually on the left side. My blinker is not working for that, but it's on the left side sa baba ng figure 1.4. Ito kaninang sinasabi kong significative. Number 1 is the quality. Tatanungin mo, matibay ba to? Magtatagal ba sa akin tong laptop na to or cellphone na to or TV na to? The quality. Or sa damit naman, baka isang labahan pa lang, butas na. That's quality. Number 2 is the price. Okay. Sobrang mahal naman. Sobrang pricey siya for its specs. For example, sa cellphone. Ang mahal naman yan, parehas lang naman na nakakapag-picture. Ang mahal naman yan, pare-parehas naman sila ng RAM when it comes to laptop. Ang mahal-mahal naman yan, parehas naman silang sapatos. So, price. Distinctive. Paano siya naiiba sa ibang product? So, for example, bakit ko pipiliin ang Acer? Ano bang meron sa Acer na wala sa Apple? Sa Dell? Okay? Mas user-friendly ba siya? Compatible ba siya sa lahat? Hindi ba ako mahihirapan mag-download? So, distinctiveness. Availability. Oo, gusto nga natin ng Samsung, pero wala namang Samsung Center dito. Puro Oppo, puro Vivo. So, availability and service. This part of significant stimuli service, particularly, I would like to give the example of Hyundai. Kaya sabi nila, hindi maganda bumili ng Hyundai na sasakyan kasi mahirap daw bumili ng pyesa. So, that's one consideration that they are taking into. So, another one is the symbolic. Under symbolic, same. We have the quality, the price, the distinctive, the availability, and the service. Sabi ko nga kanina yung sa Apple. Makita mo ba lang yung Apple na logo niya, may isip mo na agad, aba, matibay ito. Ay, naku, mahal yan. Okay? Ay, kakaiba yan kasi hindi ka pwedeng basta-basta mag-connect dyan. Kailangan mong mag-download ng sandamakmak na apps. Parang ganon. Availability, nabibili ba yan dito? Meron ba yan sa mga supermarket sa Tabuk? Meron ba yan sa Oppo Store, sa Vivo Store? Service, pag nasira, saan ko yan ipapaayos? Okay? So, those are symbolic. And of course, the social environment. Makikita nyo on the arrow sa baba is the sensitivity to information. Then, magkakaroon na tayo ng perceptual bias. Later on, maintindihan natin yan. But for now, we are still in the inputs. So, dun muna tayo sa malaking rectangle sa left side ng screen. So, that those are the inputs. Okay? Now, we have the model draws heavily on learning theory concepts, and such 6 learning constructs are represented by number 1, motive, number 2, evoke set, number 3, decision mediators, number 4, predispositions, number 5, inhibitors, and number 6, satisfaction. Motive is described as either general or specific goals impelling action. When we say impelling action, yung nakaka-apekto sa or nakakapagpa-move sa atin para gumalaw or para bumili. So, this could be general or specific goals daw. When we say general goal, for example, general goal natin ngayon, online class is pumasa. Specific goal natin siguro is pumasa sa subject ni Ma'am Karen. So, pag bumili ka ng cellphone, hindi basta-basta na yung kayang mag-Google Class lang. Hindi yung basta-basta na nakakapag-online lang. Kailangan malaki yung data kasi magda-download kayo ng YouTube lectures ko. So, that's the motive. When we say evoke set, it's the consumer assessment of the ability of the consumption choices that are under active consideration to satisfy his or her goals. Balik tayo dun sa example ko kanina. I-assess nyo ngayon yung mga available cellphone sa market or laptop or tablet kung alin doon yung makakapagpasatisfy sa gusto ninyong goal na magkaroon ng malaking data para ma-download yung mga lectures ko, para pumasa kayo, di ba? So, we also have decision mediators. These are the mental rules or heuristic for assessing purchase alternatives. Ano yung mga mental rules mo? Aba, dapat second hand lang. Aba, dapat hindi siya lalampas ng 5,000. So, those are your mental rules. Hindi kailangan written, yung mga nasa isip mo lang. Okay? We have predisposition. So, when you say predisposition, these are preference toward brands in the evoked set express an attitude toward them. Predispositions, ito yung mga dati nang naiisip mo. Hindi man siguro consciously, pero pagpasok mo dun sa store, parang bias ka na towards buying this brand. For example, Samsung. Kasi bata ka pa lang, pangarap mo nang magka-Samsung. Okay? And we also have the inhibitors. Inhibitors are the environmental forces such as limited resources. O, balik na naman tayo. Motive, gusto mong pumasa. So, bibili ka ng cellphone na malaki ang data para ma-download ang YouTube ni Ma'am Karen. Pero meron kang mental rules. Dapat hindi siya lalagpas ng 5,000. Or hindi siya bababa ng 10,000. Okay? We have predisposition. Gusto mo ng Samsung dahil pangarap mong magka-Samsung nung bata ka pa. Pero meron tayong inhibitors. So, for example, sabi mo dapat hindi siya lalagpas ng 10,000 pero ang binigay lang ng nanay mo sa'yo is 2,000. So, those are inhibitors. And of course, satisfaction. It represents a feedback mechanism from post-purchase reflection used to inform subsequent decision. So, 2,000 lang yung binigay sa'yo. So, ang mabibili lang niyan ay siguro Cherry Mobile. Pero, ang problema dyan, may mga feedback mechanism na hindi sila satisfied sa Cherry Mobile dahil after 2 weeks, sira na or hindi naman siya nakakapag-save ng madaming memory. Okay? So, I'm not saying for a fact that Cherry is not good. It's just an example. Okay? So, this process of learning serves to influence the extent to which the consumer considers future purchases and seeks new information. So, habang pinaproseso natin kanina, so ang pinaprocess natin kanina ay ang pagbili nyo ng cellphone. So, it serves as influence to the extent to which the consumer considers daw yung future purchases nyo. So, sa mga bibili ng cellphone, yun yung gawin yung patayan kung paano kayo bibili ng cellphone. So, Howard and Sheth suggested that consumer decision-making differs according to the strength of the attitude toward the available brand. So, for example, ano ba yung mga available brands dito? This being largely governed by the consumer's knowledge and familiarity with the product class. So, siguro kung sabihin ko sa inyo na bili kayo ng cellphone na ang brand ay Camel, siguro mapapaisip kayo, ano kaya yung Camel na sinasabi ni Ma'am? Hindi pa naman namin naririnig yun. Baka hindi maganda yun. Okay? So, in situations where the consumer does not have a strong attitude, they are said to engage in extended problem solving and actively seeking information in order to reduce brand ambiguity. So, pag wala kayong alam sa brands, wala pa kayong strong attitude, so wala pa kayong nasa isip na hindi pa nakaset yung mind nyo sa Samsung or sa Apple, then you engage in extended problem solving. Okay. In such situation, the consumer will also undertake prolonged deliberation before deciding which product to purchase or indeed whether to make a purchase. So, ano kayang bibilihin ko or bibili pa ba ako? Yun ang mga tanong. So, as the product group becomes familiar, the process will be undertaken less conscientiously as the consumer undertakes limited problem solving and eventually routine problem solving. So, the more na familiar kayo sa product, hindi na ma-extend ang problem solving ninyo. For example, hindi na natin iniisip minsan ngayon, 'di ba? Dahil hindi araw-araw naman tayong bumibili or every other day ng shampoo. Hindi na natin iniisip, hindi na tayo dumadaan dun sa process ng quality. Yung kanina, yung balik tayo dito, hindi na natin ginagawa to. Quality, price, distinctive availability. Agad-agad, alam na natin kung anong shampoo yung bibilhin natin or anong sabon. Okay? So, exogenous variables outlines a number of external variables that can significantly influence decision. So, balik tayo sa exogenous variables. Ano ba itong mga to? So, these are the importance of the purchase. Dun sa taas. Personality, variable, social class, culture, organization, time, pressure, and financial status. Okay? So, as these factors are likely to depend to some degree on the individual buyer, they are not as well defined by Howard and Sheth. They noted that these exogenous variables contain the history of the buyer up to the beginning of the period of observation. So, the 5 output variables on the right of the model represent the buyer's response and follow the progressive steps to purchase. Balik na naman tayo sa table. Okay, so, ano yung sabi niya kanina? The 5 output variables. Right. 5 output variables. So, those are the purchase behavior dun sa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 na boxes dun sa right side. Purchase behavior, intention, attitude, comprehension, and attention. Okay, what are these? Attention is the magnitude of the buyer's information intake. Attention span. So, hanggang saan na information yung nakuha mo? Parang yung pagdi-discuss ko kanina ng pagbili nyo ng cellphone, saan kayo nag-stop? Sa motive, sa evoke set, sa decision mediators. So, depende kasi yan sa capacity nyo to intake the information. Number 2, comprehension. The process and understood information that is used. So, siguro kahit paulit-ulit ko na sabihin yung mga bilang sales lady, yung mga pros and cons ng Acer sa Dell, Samsung sa Oppo, kung yung napaprocess at naiintindihan nyo lang is kaunti, hindi nyo siguro ako maintindihan. Ganon din naman si Ma'am Karen pag bumibili ng gadgets. Hindi ko na naintindihan yung RAM, yung gigabyte, yung kung ano-anong sinasabi sa akin na Intel, na Core, hindi ko alam yon. So, ibig sabihin mababa lang yung comprehension ko when it comes to gadgets. So, attitudes. The buyer's evaluation of a particular brand's potential to satisfy the purchase motive. What is my attitude toward buying gadgets? Iba-iba kasi tayo. Minsan, iniisip nila, may mga tao kasi na gusto ipasikat. May mga gusto naman na, kahit ano, okay lang yan, basta gumagana. So, those are our attitudes. And we also have the intention. The buyer's forecast of which product they will buy. So, sabi ko nga kanina, pagpasok ko dun, alam ko na yung bibilhin ko. So, that is my intention. Higher ang bibilhin ko na TV. So, hindi na ako titingin dun sa mga mahal na TV pa. Kasi alam ko na yun yung mura, yun yung gamit ng kapitbahay ko na TV, matibay naman. That's my intention. So, purchase behavior is the actual purchase behavior which reflects the buyer's predisposition to buy as modified by any inhibitors. So, that's the purchase behavior. Kung ano yung magiging decision niya sa isang bagay na bibilhin niya, that's the behavior. So, later on, because this is consumer behavior, market research and consumer behavior, this will be the center of our discussion. Okay, so that ends our lesson 3. Next week, I'll be uploading again lectures for lesson 4.